Hello and welcome back to Life of Posey. We are moved into our new house and we have not finished unpacking. So today's video is a make-do video with the supplies that I could find, which there were quite a few I couldn't find. But follow along anyways as we make Posey a sweet, lazy day watermelon summer dress. So I picked both of these bandanas up at Hobby Lobby for 99 cents a piece. And you will be really amazed at how many different types of bandanas they have. Every color you can think of and lots of different really sweet prints, such as this watermelon print and lots of plain ones. So for my fabric that I'm using today, $2. I'm looking at this bandana here and I think that I can actually get the bodice and the skirt out of this one material. So I don't think I'm actually gonna use this green one. I'm gonna line my bodice up so I get this really cute border here on the waistband area. So I'm going to line up my pattern for my bodice. If you want to learn how to make one of these patterns yourself, go ahead and check out the YouTube video that I will link above where I show you how to take your dog's measurements and make a pattern for yourself. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out, and I'm gonna cut out an additional one out of some plain material. Well, you missed a little bit. I was accidentally recording when I thought I wasn't recording and vice versa. So I went ahead and cut out one of the bodice pieces as well as a back side of the bodice in plain material. I put them good sides together and then I stitched all the way around with my sewing machine and then flipped it right side out so all of the seams are on the inside. So now my bodice is good to go. Next, I've taken the rest of the bandana and cut it down to length for Posey's measurements. This will be her skirt that I will attach to the bodice. But I need to bring it to the sewing machine and run a stitch line all the way across the top here to gather this skirt up. Notice that the bottom and the sides of this bandana have already been hemmed under, and so that's the really wonderful part about using bandanas. There's a lot of hemming that you don't have to do. So that makes me happy. I'm just gonna go ahead and gather the skirt up. All right, I'm back from the sewing machine and that just took less than a minute. So when you put it on the largest stitch size and the tightest tension, it automatically gathers this somewhat. But I left a little extra string here at the beginning and end and did not back stitch. That way I can separate those strings and pull on one while gathering the fabric up with the other hand until I get it as gathered as I'd like for Posey's dress. So I think that looks pretty good, maybe even too tight. So I'm gonna pull over her bodice. I like the skirt to sit right in between these arm straps. So if I lay it out, I'm a little narrow, so I'm gonna stretch it out a little bit here until I get it just right. That looks much better. So now I'm going to attach it by taking the back of the bodice and flipping it up out of the way. We only want to attach it to the front of the bodice. I'm now going to take the skirt and flip it upside down, just like so, and pin this in all the way along the bottom edge of the bodice here between the two side straps. Of course, I can't find my pins yet because I just moved and things are crazy, so I'm gonna just bring it over to my sewing machine and very carefully hold it into place and stitch it along. Okay, I've got the skirt nice and attached here, and I'm gonna flip it over to point something out. Because there is this watermelon print in the center with the border stripes, it's important when you're gathering this to try to line it up in the center of your dress. Mine was way off and I actually had to rip the whole seam out and redo it. Now it's more central. It even could maybe go this way a little bit, but I think that this will be fine. So this looks a little more symmetrical. So flip it back over and we're gonna cover up all of this raw material here by taking the back side of the bodice, which we had previously pushed out of the way when we attached our skirt, and folding it under one time and bringing it over the back of the skirt, this raw edge material here, and pinning that all into place. You'll also want to come to the side straps and tuck those under one time, like so, and pin them into place. Once you have it all pinned into place, go ahead and sew all the way along from side strap to close this off. Okay, this looks really nice and neat here, and if I flip it over, The seam looks pretty clean on the front too. A lot of times I will put some kind of ribbon, some little trim across the waistband to cover up any wonky seams, but I tried to be careful about the color thread I chose and also keeping the seam as close to the actual material where it met up as possible, and I think that it looks okay. So I'm not gonna add anything to this dress. I think that this is just gonna be our simple, lazy daisy summer watermelon dress, and I think it's really adorable just as it is. The next step would be to add Velcro closures to the side straps and the neck straps. But again, because I just moved and I'm not well organized in my craft room yet, I'm out here in the dining room and I can't find what I need. So I don't have closures for these, but I'm gonna figure out a way to fasten it onto Posey so that you can see her in it.